Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I want to say thank you all for being here today. Do me a favor if you are new to the channel and consider giving us a subscribe. Help me grow the channel out. I love it whenever that happens. It means that the reach of people are enjoying the content, and I do greatly appreciate it. It's really cool though. So there's a live chat running, and at the end of the show, I like to connect with everyone who has communication in the chat. So if you would love to say hi, I would really appreciate it, just so I know who's watching. It does mean a lot to me. Or if you're watching this after it's live, do me a favor and comment in the comment section below. Just say hey. Would love to have the interaction there. It's one of the many reasons I started the Patreon, which is listed in the description of the video. There's other stuff in there as well for my company Astra that I do crypto and blockchain consulting stuff. So you can go check all that fun stuff out there, and yeah, we'll have a good time. And I know many of you have scheduled some time with me. We've talked and had some fun times, but anyhow, I do appreciate all that you guys and gals are doing. So anyhow, one of the main reasons I started Patreon was so that I can create community, so I could take the gloves off and have conversation with people around subjects that typically would get this channel in trouble. And Monday's Patreon was no exception for sure. Definitely an off-topic subject, but put my heart out there for you guys to see what I really felt about some things. And anyhow, definitely love that. What are y'all drinking? Throw it in the live chat or in the comments below. I'm drinking some. I think this one is a Guatemalan black coffee. Definitely good stuff. Still a little hot. Goodness. All right. Wow. Okay. That's a punch in the face. But real quick, before we jump into the content here, real quick, Busy Mountain pointed something out here, and I was watching his show earlier. Economic Ninja is worried about Saudi Arabia joining the gold-backed BRICS, specifically what it does to our dollar, and people aren't paying attention. No. And then a little comment here. They won't pay attention until the money is collapsed. You're right, brother. Look, Busy Mountain is not wrong. Economic Ninja is not wrong. Economic Ninja did a video this morning that y'all should go check out. Definitely something to pay attention to. Okay, this is stuff that I talk about on the show here, and as much as I want you guys to stick around and pay attention to the show we talk about here and everything, by all means, please go watch his shows. The reason I'm telling you, ladies and gals, that is it's extremely important to pay attention to what's happening in the world, and he does a really good job at connecting some dots that, just because he has more experience than I do in some areas, and does a really good job with it. I really do appreciate his opinion and I value it greatly. So go watch that video when we're done here. Definitely worth a watch. The reason Busy Mountain's talking about here, I'm kind of worried about the same thing. It's not just Saudi Arabia. The rest of the world is dumping the dollar. What that means for us is that means that those dollars are going to come back home to roost. They're going to come back home. And when the dollars come back home, that's hyperinflation on steroids. We already have pretty much the basic terms of hyperinflation now. We really do. And if you realistically pay attention to the amount of dollars that are in circulation around the world, that other countries have had to go and obtain so that they could buy oil from Saudi Arabia or Russia or whoever else because of the petrodollar, that's gone. All right. That's gone. I saw an article that I could not find again for the show here. Something to the effect of the global banking system has been buying, in the past quarter, bought like 400 tons of gold, or obtained or secured 400 tons of gold. There's a shift taking place. If y'all aren't paying attention, you're going to end up getting destroyed. Not trying to spread FUD here. I'm trying to just be honest and truthful with you guys. I love all of you, and I want the best for every one of you guys. There's a reason why we talk about this stuff on here. I'm not trying to make you guys scared of anything. I'm trying to say, hey, as uncomfortable as the conversation is, look here. This is not good stuff. And this is what's happening in spite of all of the talking heads around the world saying, this is good, this is good. We're fine. The economy's great. You got the stupid FOMC meetings this afternoon, the Federal Reserve stuff, or whatever it is. It's usually right after I get done with the show that they launch their information they want everyone to pay attention to. And whatever, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. All these talking heads and these trading heads and all these different people, they go and they they look at that information, and then they tell you that Bitcoin being a risk asset in their minds, because it is in their minds, the markets are going to do X, Y, and Z. Well, here's a little trick, and I could be wrong, but it's something I've kind of noticed a trend wise. On the FOMC days, when the markets are all down, typically that means once the FOMC does their little powwow and their little song and dance and a little, let their information out, it's going to go the opposite of the direction on the day that it starts. That's just my personal opinion. So Bitcoin's down, Dow's down, all this. We'll talk about that in a minute. And just throwing this out there because I noticed the past couple times, when they talk about this stuff, it goes the opposite of what it starts the day at. But that's just my opinion. I have no data to back it up, just something I noticed. All of that being said, Ninja's not wrong. Go watch that video. I'm halfway through it. I didn't get time to finish it before the show. But y'all need to seriously take a second and pay attention to what's happening out there. Pay attention to the dots that get connected in this space. This is one of the reasons why I say crypto is going to be the exit strategy, right? This is why I say that if you're preparing yourselves now, you're going to be on the receiving end of that wealth transfer. You got China, all these other things happening with the other CBDs around the world, all the different pieces of the puzzle that you got. India, you got all these other. India's now testing a CBDC. Okay. So many pieces are moving all at once. And it's going to happen in the blink of an eye. They're going to cause some sort of catastrophic event, most likely, where all of the dollars come back home, causing a hyperinflationary problem. Oh, we can't use this dollar anymore. It's worthless. You can't use it anymore. We have no value, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do the CBDC. It's going to be backed by gold, precious metals, blah, 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 probably Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll see. Just something to keep an eye on. Just a data point. So we have a lot to unpack here for the show. I do appreciate y'all sticking around. If you have gotten this far in the show and you like what you've heard, smash the likes. I do appreciate it when y'all do that. It does make YouTube realize that the content here isn't just someone yakking away. Anyhow, Bitcoin is down. Dow is down. Nasdaq is down. S&P 500 is down. Gold is down. Silver is down. And what did I just say? The FOMC days. When all those ones are down, on those days, usually when whatever direction it is, it's going to go the opposite. Okay. So last time, Bitcoin was up. The Dow was up. Nasdaq was up. If you go look at didn't mean to bump that. If you go look at the history on that, guess what? They dropped the big news. Guess what it did? It tanked. And now it's down. It's probably going to shoot up. Just my 2 cents. Okay. Y'all do what you want with it. Not financial, tax, whatever advice, legal advice. Divi is having an interesting go at what's happening around the space. Looks like it's gently trying and attempting to rise, whatever. That's kind of a good thing there. And Matic is being pushed down along with everything else as well. So is Axie. Okay, these are interesting things. Little data points. The mortgage rates are now for sure above 7%. This is something that this particular chart rate adjusts like once or twice a week. I don't remember. But anyhow, some data points to pay attention to. Now, aligned with what I was mentioning before around the dollars and the hyperinflation, things changing. The wind is changing. The dollars are coming back home. If the rest of the world doesn't need the dollars, they're going to buy as many things from the U.S. that the U.S. will export, like their oil, things like that, the bonds, stuff like that, the stock market piece, whatever. They're going to dump the dollars back in the country somehow. They're going to buy something and they're going to dump the dollars back in the country. And when that happens, it's going to force an hyperinflationary problem. You have all that happening. We're going to cover a couple things here in just a second. You got the home crisis that we're dealing with, and this is a global real estate crisis. We're going to talk about something with that right now. The China Evergrande unit gets notice for $4.48 billion loan from Shanghai Bank. This effectively means that they were unable to recover the funds. The bank said it failed to recover funds totaling 32.59 billion yuan or $4.4 billion, which has provided provided to the unit, or which was provided to the unit from 2020 to 2021, according to the Evergrande. Yep. So they can't actually collect on the debt now. So they're bankrupt and they're not paying back. They are legitimately done. Evergrande owns a lot of property, guys and gals. If I'm not mistaken, BlackRock owns some of Evergrande. Connect the dots, do your own research. I don't know what I'm talking about here, do I? Yeah, no. I'm just a guy standing here telling you guys, been in crypto for a long time, watching the market trends, saying, hey, y'all see this stuff? You see it? Just saying. Because I love you guys. I genuinely have a heart for the people who are willing to listen to the crazy stuff that's going on in the world. On top of that, Treasury Department announces a new Series I bond rate of 6.89% for the next 6 months, which it won't happen because the Federal Reserve is going to continue to raise rates, which is going to cause that to go down. Just a hunch. Series I bonds, and inflation protected, not really, and necessarily and nearly risk-free, will pay 6.89 through April 2023. The U.S. Department of Treasury announced today. I call baloney. Based on the latest inflation data, this is the third highest rate since I bonds were introduced in 1998. What happened right after that with 1998? 2000 destroyed. Again, 2008. They did something very similar to this. If you want to go back and look at this stuff. Actually, this article mentions it somewhere. I don't remember. But here's the deal. They want to offer this wonderful rate to everybody who's willing to lock up their money for the next 6 months into the stock market. They want to get your money out of the circulation. They want it to be locked up in their asset, and they're going to potentially pay you back 6.8% on the dollar. I still call BS on that. Do. Where was it? There was a piece in here. Where was it? Oh well. I guess if the Lord didn't want me to say it, it is what it is. So, I misplaced some of these things. Hang on just 2 seconds for me. Let's move this guy back over here. There we go. So, if you notice, everything I'm pointing out here are all tied to the dollar collapsing. Evergrande not paying the money back. You have no idea how many investment bonds and hedge funds are tied in with Evergrande from the U.S. side of things. Treasury is one of them, right? Evergrande owns property in the United States. They own homes in the United States. Home prices are falling faster now than in 2006. Redfin CEO just revealed why. Okay. Basically, in a nutshell, the reason why is because investors, Evergrande, BlackRock, Citadel, what was the other one? Vanguard. They're not buying property anymore because they can't sell it. Yep. So down here, effectively, the percentage of homes bought by investors. So this is by cities, whatnot. It's all in alphabetical order. So like in Atlanta, it was from 2020 Q1 to 2021 to Q1 to 2022. It was in Atlanta, it was 22.7%, and in 2022 Q1 it was 33.1%. Charlotte, very close. Jacksonville, pretty close. Phoenix, significantly more. et cetera, right? From the major hot point cities. Actually, Milwaukee and Seattle went down. Okay. Why was there an investor bull rush? See the charts above and below, which right here, we'll go over that in a minute. Uh, into the housing market. Sorry. Why was there a bull rush into the housing market during the pandemic? A combination of low mortgage rates, record appreciation, and soaring rents simply made it irresistible for investors. Not consumers, investors. There is a neighborhood not far from me that broke ground, I think, in 2020 and is now almost completely built. New homes for rent. All of them. The whole neighborhood is like a couple hundred homes. The whole thing. All rent. You can't buy those houses. There's not a rent to own. It's all rent. Uh-huh. It happened in Austin. It happened in California. It's happened all across the country. If you go look at who the owner is in some form or fashion, it's either a subsidiary. It's most likely some sort of subsidiary of one of those three companies I mentioned before. And the reason I say it that way is so that way there's a gap, some sort of air gap between the two. But if you're the owner or a subsidiary of the other company, I mean, you're still kind of whatever. Anyways, you'll get the picture of what I'm trying to say here. Well, guess what's going on now? Home prices are dropping. And as investors typically do, when a market starts to turn, they attempt to sell as much as they possibly can at the top to get the most dollars for the bangs for the bucks. In my area, most homes that were sold in 2020, most homes on the market right now, most were sold in 2020, 2019, some 2020 and 2021. Now they were 50% or less, 50% or more lower in price than they are now. I mean, there's one home I saw that not long ago was 100% more than they paid for it. These are investors who want to get the biggest bang for their buck. Here's the problem. They're gonna buy. No consumer is going to, at these rates, no consumer is going to go buy a home at these rates at those prices. Period. The home isn't worth it, especially when two years or less ago, it was half the price, and in some cases 75% less than the price. Okay, I'm not kidding. This is across the country. This is compounding. I told y'all, the economy, the bedrock of our economy is the housing market. And when the investors dump money in the economy into the housing market, Redfin talks about in this article something how they have $300 and something million still tied up in assets that they can't sell because of this whole thing. 350 million worth of homes for sale that we bought with our own money, or worse, bought with borrowed money. Yeah, see, it's interesting here. He says we notice immediately when fewer people are on our website and fewer are signing up for tours. He said that they're sitting on $350 million worth of homes that for sale that they bought with their own money or worse, borrowed money. And what we always told investors is that we would protect our balance sheet by acting quickly. We don't have hope as a strategy. We immediately started marking things down. Here's the deal. They will be lucky at this point. Redfin, any of these iBuyer type things, anything like that will be lucky if they break even, if they get their money back. Because they went in and bought all these houses up. Zillow did. Open Door did. All these other companies did. And I don't know how they're tied to. If you go look at who owns Redfin, if they're publicly traded, I don't even know if they're publicly traded or not. They probably are. Who owns them? Who has at least a stake in that company? BlackRock, Citadel, Vanguard, those types of companies. I'm telling y'all. They created their own trap. Your scripture talks about how the Lord protects the righteous. and that the foolish person will go and set a trap for someone, and they'll fall into it, and the Lord will protect the righteous. This is something that these people are literally, they set their own trap. They got greedy. They wanted to buy these homes and then sell them for more. Everyone, I mean, I get it, but the thing is that people don't have money to buy those homes at those prices. The problem is, and the reason why the investors were so successful at buying all the homes up in 2019, 2020, 2021, you know why they were so successful? Because they were able to go buy these homes that no one else could buy. The retail investors can't go buy those homes. They could barely buy them at those prices before. You think they're going to go buy them now? They will be lucky if they get it. They will be lucky. On top of all that, Wells Fargo mortgage staff is bracing for layoffs as U.S. loan volumes collapse. I have a friend at church. Talked to him about how, actually I have a couple, they're mortgage brokers. They've already had to lay people off. It's never fun. Never fun. Never okay. This is starting to happen, guys and gals. There are not enough mortgages to keep people who build mortgages to continue to build them. Mortgage volumes at Wells Fargo slowed further in recent weeks, leaving some workers idle and sparking concerns that the lender will need to cut more employees as the U.S. housing slump deepens. The bank had about 18,000 loans in its retail origination pipeline, in the early weeks of the fourth quarter, according to people with knowledge in the company's figures. That is down as much as 90% from a year earlier. Wells Fargo is one of the big banks that buys mortgages from the small mom and pops. They're down 90%. When the COVID pandemic fueled housing boom was in full swing, said the people. Here's the deal. Retail investors were not buying those. Those were the investors. Retail customers were not buying those. Consumers were not buying those. Investors were. It's down 90% because the investors are, we can't buy any. We shouldn't buy anymore. We got to sell. And no one can buy at these prices. We are in for a very, very, very rough time. The dollar will be worthless very, very soon. I'm telling you, crypto is the exit strategy. You watch. Gold, silver, crypto, food, things like that. People will be buying like crazy. Employees are on edge after the bank began cutting workers in April, and internal projects point to more projections. On top of all of this, guys and gals, the world's largest container shipping firm, Maersk, a barometer for global trade, warns of dark clouds on the horizon. Maersk is also very involved in blockchain technology. They also have a handle on what's going on with all that. Just putting that out there for you guys to go. The Danish giant, widely seen as a barometer of global trade, reported earnings before interests, taxes. Reported earnings before interests, taxes, depreciation, and amortization of $10.9 billion for the quarter. CEO said exponential results were driven by a continued rise in ocean freight rates, but said it was clear that these have peaked and will begin to normalize in the fourth quarter. They're telling y'all. They're telling you. Ooh, here we go. On top of all this, you got stupid idiots out here trying to say this stuff. I don't know why the CEO of Tezos is saying this, but she is. Anyhow, crypto winter only going to get worse, co-founder of Tezos blockchain says. Caitlin Brittman told CNBC's Karen, I guess so, that easy money from venture capitalists, profit-seeking and low interest rates, and artificially inflated and the valuations of many crypto firms, which it did. However, That's all taken care of and removed now because of whatever happened earlier this year. And here's the deal. They're thinking about this like the bankers. You can't think about this like this. When this stuff happens, the crypto market will explode because it will be where the dollars go. Even if the Fed pauses rate hikes next year, only the small minority of crypto applications that are truly useful can organically grow. Users will thrive, she said, thinking that Tezos is one of them. And it is. Tezos is a decent project. You have more adoption in the crypto space. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is going on with the markets in general. This is where the money is going to be going. Okay. Very crazy stuff coming down the pipe. Union Bank of the Philippines launches Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. The Union Bank, one of the largest universal banks in the Philippines, debuts cryptocurrency trading via a partnership with Swiss crypto firm. Interesting. Swiss. The Union Bank of the Philippines, or simply Union Bank, one of the largest universal banks in the Philippines, has launched a pilot program for Bitcoin and Ethereum custody and trading services for select retail customers. The firm said in a joint announcement on November 2nd. So this is brand new, hot off the press, guys and gals. The new investment trading feature launched in collaboration with Swiss crypto technology firm Medico, with Union Bank going live on Medico's digital asset platform Harmonize. Union Bank initially partnered with Medico for the development of crypto trading services in January 2022. Guys and gals, adoption. The banks realize the writing on the wall. I'm telling y'all, they're getting ready. They are ready. The Federal Reserve is already ready. They have a CBDC. It's done. They're just doing their little things and they're doing their little peppering. And then all of a sudden, something's going to happen and they go, oh, we need a solution now. Problem? We need a solution now. Guess what? We have one. Here it is. Click a switch and it's done. Watch. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just telling y'all. Gonna be crazy stuff coming down the pipe. I'm gonna run through and say, hey everyone, I'm late for a meeting. Always am on Wednesdays. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Busy Mountain. How you doing, brother? Thanks for being here, man. It really means a lot that you're here. Do appreciate it. Tom, what's up, man? How you been? Hopefully you are doing well. Joe, how's it going, man? It's good to see you. Appreciate you being part of the show. Eva, how are you? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Hopefully you are doing well. Appreciate you being here. Same for you, Cardano Anna. How are you? Thanks for being here. Very, very much so. Got my coffee and seatbelt tightened, drinking and driving permitted in this situation. Yes, very much so. Be careful. Be careful. All right, who else is in the chat here? We've got Lithia. How are you doing today? Thanks for being here. It means a lot to me to see you all here every day. What's going on? George, how are you? Thanks for being here today. Sandstorm, have not seen you in forever, brother. Thanks for being part of the show and being here and jumping in. Hopefully you are doing well, and I need to catch up with you. Be kind of a cool thing. You know, hit me up. Send me a note. Appreciate it, man. Who else is in here today? Mortgage demands are collapsing. Ooh, yeah, I have people I very much, like I said, go to church with, and it's not going to be cool at all. Let's see who else is in here today. Y'all are fantastic. I love the conversation everyone you guys have. Hey, what's up, Daddy-O? How you been, man? Thanks for being here. Haven't seen you in a little bit either. Hopefully you guys and gals are doing great. I am seeing Busy Mountain here. I have seen things recently that indicate Bitcoin may have been the white hat's big gun against the cabal's fiat. Yeah. Back. It's been a long time they've been planning this. I did wonder if Greenspan's. Anyways, there's a lot of dots that connect way the heck back. Way back. BC in the Matrix. What's up? I love it. I love it. My friend's whole department got laid off in the title department. Holy cow, the whole department? All right. Listen, y'all have a beautiful, wonderful week. I'll see you all Friday. Y'all be blessed and keep in touch. Check out the links in the description of the video. If you're watching this later, comment out there and just say, hey, I'd love it when y'all do. It means a lot to me. And y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day and rest of the week. And I'll see y'all Friday. Be blessed.